Hi, I'm Nick Barta with Primary Residential Mortgage, and I'm here with Shawna Downs. She's a licensed loan officer in Massachusetts as well as I am. Today, we wanted to talk a little bit about the MassHousing down payment assistance programs. We're just going to go through some questions we get. We're going to kind of run through what the basics of it are. And so with that, Shawna, I'll let you start a little bit if that's okay. Kind of how does the program work?
So what it is we've got a first and second combo, and what that means is you're going to have a first mortgage, and then for the down payment assistance portion, you'll have a second mortgage. And how it works is the second mortgage is going to be a 15-year fixed for 1% interest. So it's very, very minimal, very low payment. It'll just be part of your mortgage that you pay each month. But it is a pretty simple process, pretty easy just to add in. We've got everything all together, but that's pretty much how it works as far as the first and second.
And the second can be either basically it's 3% of your purchase price or $12,000, whichever is less. They do amortize it over 15 years, like Shawna was saying, and so you do pay it back. So, fortunately, down the road, it does disappear as you're making those payments. Payments are usually pretty minimal. They're, between 25 and usually, I think the most is 70, I think, at $12,000. So what it really does for you, though, is that it reduces the amount. When we say down payment assistance, it just reduces the amount of money you're going to need to purchase a home. So instead of needing $15,000 or $20,000 to buy a home, with this program and with the second, you can get into a home. Some people can get into homes for as little as $1,000 to $1,500. Others maybe up to $5,000, $5,500. So, but you can see how it is greatly reduced when you're trying to save up for a home. Instead of having to save till you hit 15 or 20,000, you can get to 5 or 6,000 and you can still buy. That down payment can come in a number of different ways. You can take it out of a 401k. If you have savings, great. You can get a gift from a relative or an employer. So there's a lot of ways you can come up with that money, and we can certainly help you. A little bit about us. Shawna and I have both been licensed in Massachusetts for a long time. We work for a company called Primary Residential Mortgage. The group that we're with does more down payment assistance loans than just about anybody in the country. So we're well versed in them. It's our job to make this program work for you and make it easy for you. So some of the big questions we get asked, we're going to cover, because we get the same questions. We kind of asked people that were looking for information to give us questions. We get the same ones over and over again. Big one is credit score. So are there any credit requirements or minimum credit scores? And the answer simply is yes, there are. For this program, it's 640. So your middle score has to be a 640. So you get 3 scores from a tri-merge credit bureau. And those 3 scores, if you have a 620, a 641, and a 661, they're going to take the 641. So it's the middle of those 3 scores. If you hit that, and then there are other credit requirements for regular lending for FHA, and there's bankruptcies and foreclosures. We can always go over those things with you, but credit score is where we start. So one of the other ones we get is this program new? We haven't ever heard of it. So the program's not new. MassHousing's been around for a long time. They actually have had down payment assistance for a while, but in March they came up with this program, which was much more aggressive. The interest rates are much more aggressive. Really allowed more people to get into the program itself. So, and then Shawna, do they have to be first-time home buyers?
Yes, they do have to be, or you do have to be a first-time home buyer. And what that means basically is if you've owned a home in the past and it's been at least 3 years since you have sold that home and no longer own that property, then it kind of reverts you back into that first-time home buyer status. So that's also considered first-time home buyer, or for someone who's never owned a home previously in the past as well. There are a few areas in the greater Boston area that they do allow you to have owned a home previously without that 3-year waiting period, or without being a first-time home buyer. However, those are just a few of the minor areas that they consider or allow that.
Yeah,
to
targeted areas, right? They
Yes,
have to
the
be. So you
targeted
can always
areas.
check with us to see if, if you're looking at a specific area, if maybe that fits into that targeted area. Along those same lines then, Shawna, we get asked, okay, what do I have to do? Do I have to take a class?
Yes, you do have to take a class, and we do have a list. You can actually go onto MassHousing's website, and they have a list of certified or accredited organizations that you can go to take that first-time home buyer class. You can also do it online if you want to do it online and not have to go into the class. If you do, they have an accredited online organization as well that you can go to. It's $100 to do that, or you can go to the class. It's done in 2, 3, and 4 day increments. They don't have a 1 day for that, and it typically starts around $25 for that class. So it's very simple, and it takes about 8 or 9 hours to complete, and then you'll get your certificate at the end. What is good about that is it's good to go ahead and be proactive and get that ahead of time, because that certificate is good for up to 2 years. So you'll have plenty of time to use it in that 2-year period. However, if you wait until the last minute, you may not be able to get into the classes that you need or want, and so it can be a little challenging and stressful. So make it easy on yourself, plan ahead, and go ahead and get yourself in those classes right away as soon as you know that you're interested in this program and that you're wanting to go ahead and proceed in it.
Okay, great. And then I think the other question we get asked is, how much can I make? Are there income limits? Sometimes we get asked, are there, can I make too little? Well, you have to make enough to qualify for the home that you want to purchase. However, there are income limits, so you can't make too much. David he'll flash up a chart for the counties. It is by county, so and it is qualifying income. So what that means is anybody who's on the loan, that's the income that they're going to use for qualifying. So that is the income that's going to meet that limit. And I think most of those, most of the counties. On the low side, the lowest I think is 64,800. The highest side I think is about 114,000 or 107,000. And then it's kind of anywhere in between. So definitely check with us on the county that you're in, and you can see whether your income will fit into that. A, you don't make too much. B, you make enough to qualify for the house that you want. So, well, you can take a look at that. We get asked about cosigners a lot. So can I have a cosigner? Can mom or dad cosign for me? Can grandma or grandpa cosign for me? Or, a friend. With this program, unfortunately, you can't have just a regular cosigner that's non-occupying, which means they're not going to live in the property with you. So if you have somebody that is going to live in the property with you and will cosign with you, whether that's a girlfriend, boyfriend, a friend, just somebody you want to live with, you can certainly do that, a relative. But those income, all of your combined income, if we put you on there, does go towards that income limit. So we do have to keep an eye on that. But definitely, you can have a cosigner if they're going to live in the property. You can't have a cosigner if they're not going to live in the property. We do have other programs that allow cosigners that aren't down payment assistance. So if it is something that's going to work for you and that works better for you, certainly don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we can help you with that as well. Also, other zero down payment options. There's not a lot of USDA, which is rural housing in Massachusetts, but there is some. You can always check to see if your community qualifies for that. That's 100% financing without needing down payment assistance. And certainly all of our qualified veterans out there, a very small number of veterans use their VA eligibility loan that allows them to buy a home for 100% or for 0% down. So certainly if you're a veteran, don't hesitate to reach out to us as well. I think we already covered, do I have to pay the second mortgage back? We talked about that. We also get, why don't I just go to MassHousing directly and get the loan?
So the reason you don't do that is MassHousing, it's not a direct lender. So you have to actually go to a lender that is approved by MassHousing, such as Primary Residential Mortgage, such as our company, in order to be able to qualify for this product.
Here's another one, do I go get my first mortgage and then just come to MassHousing, or do you guys to get the second mortgage?
you have to come to us for the first and the second. We do everything. It's kind of a one-stop shop, if you will. So you'll come to us and we'll do everything here with assisting with the down payment assistance program, getting you set up with your first and second mortgage. You'll do one closing. You'll close, go to the closing table and sign both of the loan documents, and have everything done all at one time. So it's very simple and easy for you.
Great. And then I think the other thing, we get asked is this real? Is it for real? Can I buy a house without having $20,000 down? The simple answer to that is yes. We do them. We see them every day. Down payment assistance loans. We've done hundreds of them this year, and so we see families. We see families every day that are able to buy houses for very little down and kind of achieve that American dream. So yes, it's real. That's probably the question we get asked the most. Is this real? Is it a scam? It's not. It's not. MassHousing's been around a long time. Primary residential mortgage has been around a long time. We've been licensed in Massachusetts for a long time, and we do a lot of these loans. So the next thing is, what is the next step? We've covered a lot of information. If we didn't cover a question that you guys have, please, reach out to us. There'll be, if you receive this by an email, there'll be links in the email for an Apply Now button, which that allows you to get started. It's a short application, only takes about 5 minutes. Lets us pull a credit report on it, which usually is a good starting point. We'll take a look at income. We'll talk to you about what you have available and kind of the area that you're in. Massachusetts has a lot of different price ranges. So, one side of the state, you might be able to purchase a home for $220,000. Some places in Boston, $220,000 won't buy you anything. So, start with that. You do the Apply Now button, or there'll be a link at the bottom. Also, our phone number is 857-331-0710. You can reach out to us anytime on that. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. We've had a great response, so if you do get a voicemail, please leave a voicemail and we will get right back to you.
I would like to add to that, if I
Sure.
could. Also, I'd like to say that there's a lot of misconceptions when I speak to you as you're interested and you contact us. There's a lot of misconceptions. I can't buy because I haven't been at my job for 2 years, or I can't buy because I don't have this thing or that thing. And it's a lot of misconceptions. So it's important that you ask the questions. So just contact us and ask. Don't go by what you think or what you've heard, but to ask us, because things are constantly changing in this industry, and what maybe we couldn't do before, we can do now, or vice versa. But there's a lot of things thrown out there that give us doubts and make us think we can't qualify. But a lot of times you actually really can qualify. So I want to just encourage you in that, because I think that's really important.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I still hear from people that, hey, Grandpa told me I need 20% down, so until I get $140,000, I can't buy a house. So don't get trapped into that. If you don't know, or you're just, you just heard something, check with us. We'll be happy to tell you the truth. And, if you can buy, we'll help you with that. If you can't, what we'll do is work with you too. So if your credit's not quite where it needs to be, we can kind of talk to you about what it is, maybe come up with a plan, and hopefully help you down the road, get you to the point where you can buy. MassDPA.com. Is our website, so MassDPA.com. You can go there, you can apply online there, find out a lot more information. You can certainly find out more information on Shawna or me. Again, my name's Nick Barta, Shawna Downs. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We look forward to helping you. Please don't hesitate to reach out. God bless.
Thank you.